Frank Lloyd Wright once said, "The physician can bury his mistakes, but the architect can only advise his clients to plant vines." So that's what I did. There was a blank wall adjacent to a courtyard in a house I designed, built, and lived in. You can see the vines in the lower left starting to make their way up the boring wall, making it a little bit more interesting. Now, the walls in the entryway leading to the courtyard were also a little bland. Therefore, I constructed reflecting recessed niches. Each had a stone sill and terracotta insets, making them look like blocked up windows. I don't have any original ideas. You've probably seen that before. Now, but have you ever wondered where that architectural treatment originated? A legend has it started with a window tax. In America, I can only find one temporary short-lived window tax in Virginia used to help fund their Revolutionary War efforts. However, during the entire length of that war, England did have a window tax. A tree doesn't fall far from the apple. The tax was around for 150 years, from the end of the 1600s to the middle of the 1800s. And it was aimed at the rich, those with big houses and lots of windows. But it turned out to affect everyone in more ways than one. Landlords began blocking up windows in tenement buildings, and the lack of fenestrations frustrated designers regarding the design of building facades. So being who we are, problem solvers, we began replicating the trend and designing blocked up windows to create symmetry and attractive exterior elevations. Why not? After all, the recessed niche has been a part of architecture since the Roman Empire. Now here's an example of a building on Pitt Street in London, reportedly built around a decade before the tax ended. The trend continued. Here's a building on Charles Street in New York City. Now, even though it was unpopular and had substantial negative impacts, the practice continued for over a century and a half. The effects of the lack of light and ventilation, as well as emergency egress, were becoming so well documented that Parliament eventually had no choice but to repeal the law. Even today, the building code gives light, ventilation, and egress their own sections, and each one of them is listed in the purpose of the code. Now, creating a detail for a faux blocked up window or a false shuttered opening is pretty simple. Personally, I like the shutter option. Now check out our blog I wrote about shutter design you can believe in. Garrett will post the link in the notes below. Another technique we use to make an otherwise dull wall look attractive is the blacked out window. Here's an example of one in the gable end of a grand Arta-winning home designed by CPBD Kimberly Mockert. A question recently asked was how to safely black out a window with lasting results and no risk of eventual failure. And not only might this be used for a gable end window, it's been done for false dormer windows and the occasional window needed for exterior style, but it conflicts with the floor plan beyond. You've never had an architectural review board ask you for that, have you? Or maybe there's a need to remodel a home's interior but leave the window in place for aesthetics or budget. Now here are 4 solutions that contributors submitted. The least desirable seems to be to use glossy black paint. Now, if this is a choice, specify that all stickers and any glue or adhesive be removed from the window before painting. Apply the paint in a shop for quality control was also recommended. A Tennessee builder said that they've heard of paint causing long-term issues. So another option is to specify 100% blackout tinting film. If applied to the outside and removable, the film can be replaced if there are issues over time. But any light from the interior might create enough transparency to see what's going on inside. But if it's an attic space, that probably would happen rarely, at least if it was my house. The third idea is to install curtains or blinds and permanently keep them closed. And that's only a good idea when there's an opportunity to get to them from behind, because eventually the sunlight's got to take its toll. The last suggestion is applying black synthetic felt paper to the back of the window, 2 layers, secured with zip tape. The felt paper must be stretched tight. Any wrinkles will be seen from the outside at the right angles. A permanent spider web might be visible if a spider finds its way into the airspace between the paper and the window. But only one, unless a fly also finds its way in there too. In the comments below, let us know of some of the solutions you've used to make boring walls pop. Members helping members. Thanks for watching this entire video and have a triumphant week.